Erik, I remember several weeks ago we were talking about, or you had mentioned how one of the biggest things, that this group can learn maybe from your past is that you were on a wild card team last year, but it required, 100 plus points. How much is that, something that needs to be reiterated here?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's just like we saw. It's hard to win in this league, and it was a tough stretch for us. And I mean, everyone watching that last game, what it took for us to actually get those 2 points was. That was hard work, and that took the whole team, and it took all 60 minutes, and it was a tough game. So that's just shows us that when you're at the top in certain points, you're the hunted, and you're going to get everyone's best, and it's just going to get harder. So maybe that stretch was in a way a learning curve for our team, and hopefully we can bounce back and now set foot forward.
From what you know about the way the Bruins are playing and where they are, their goal differential, all that, I mean, how is this an extra test in a way, just knowing the way they're playing?
Well, I think they're the best team in the league right now. So great test for us. It's if you think they're going to have a letdown because it's last game before break, that's not going to happen. So we're going to get their best game, and we got to respond, and we got to be at our best.
Defensive play right now, I would imagine, has to be even more emphasized with the fact that you have no John, you have no Gravy. I mean, that's a big hole. That's a one full pairing that's out right now.
Yeah, good teams. Have that next man up mentality, and that's what we got to have. So we got guys who are going to play more minutes, and good for them. Get a good opportunity to showcase themselves and be a big part of our team.
How important is it to win the final game heading into a winter break for momentum purposes?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to leave tonight with a big smile on my face, and it's always you feel, the break somehow feels a little bit different when you win that last game, and it makes it that much more enjoyable.
Both teams have been comeback teams recently. What is the added challenge when you're playing another team that they're not out even if the score is down?
Well, I don't know. I just think that, that just shows that's a sign of a good team, I think, and just playing that full 60 minutes, no matter what the score is, that's the expectation a little bit, and like I said, it's a good sign of a good team.
Obviously, with the way things unfolded on that recent trip, a defenseman was needed. What does it mean to you right now to be that next man up, and what you've been trying to do in Utica right now?
I mean, I'm just trying to get better every day, like I used to, like I always do. So, and now I got this opportunity, so I'll just play my game and show them what I can do best.
First time back up here since obviously training camp. Can you sort of go back to that time, and do you feel that you showed your best at that time, or what was sort of your expectation?
Like during the camp, I didn't show my best. I wasn't myself, but I think right now I'm on that spot when I mentally on my spot and physically I feel ready.
When you were in Utica, maybe how are you different or more mature than your first time here at the end of last year? How are you maybe different or improved?
I mean, you just like build confidence, day by day, and like after first year, after second year, is just I feel more comfortable now, more confident, and like still growing,
Did you play at all with Kevin when you've been in Utica at some point?
We played like once in a while.
Okay.
So, and we played in junior together
Oh, that's true.
a lot. So,
Does it help in a way to sort of have someone familiar when you're coming up for your first time this year?
I mean, yeah, it's just like we have a good communication, like off the ice, we like have a good communication too, so it helps. So like if, I'll ask him a question because he's been here around. So,
How much is the physical part of your game something that you feel maybe could bring value to this locker room, or just how much you want to show? Like, where's that balance?
I mean, I don't want to run around, just hit everybody. I just want to play smart and simple. But if I have a chance, like hit will come to me. So.
You said you want to improve every day. What areas are you better at besides confidence, physically on the ice? Where are you better?
I would say skating, physicality, playing with the puck, more confident with the puck. So,
Is that something you learned in your short stint last year, that those areas had to get better if you were going to be an NHL?
Yeah, 100%. Like if you watch the NHL games compared to AHL games, it's more like good passes. You know, everyone's just passing the tape. And in AHL, it's a little bit different. You know, it's a little mess sometimes.
So for you, a few of the coaches coming over to you towards the end of the skate, what were they telling you?
I just was telling me like some simple stuff, like playing in D zone, like how to play on some face-offs. They just show me on the board, so make sure I know because it's a little bit different. So.
What did you see with this team, you know, down in Utica when you watched them? You have a chance to watch them. What did you like about the club, what they were doing?
I mean, I watched some of the games, and I saw that team was winning, and it's always great to winning. But they were skating, they were playing like with the puck a lot, so it's really good offensive place. So that helps.
Thanks, Nikita. And then I'm wondering how, obviously on this road trip you guys lose two very important pieces in Gravy and John, and just how much that defensive play from everybody as a whole is going to need to really compensate from a big loss like that.
Yeah, I think we've talked about team defense, and we've been harping on that the whole time. It's hard to replace guys like that. They've done a lot. They play heavy minutes. They make great plays, so they'll be missed. But at the end of the day, this is what teams have to deal with, and everybody wants to play more minutes or play more special teams or whatever it is, and this gives an opportunity for people to slide in, doors open, and you got to kind of take that opportunity, and we're going to need a lot of guys to step in because it's not just one guy to fill that. You need a lot of guys, so that'll be a team area to make sure that we secure that.
Obviously, anytime you're in a slump, you want to come out of it with, as soon as you can. But when you get a victory like you did the other night, the way you did, is that almost in a sense more impactful just because it was a crash and, crawl your way to it?
Yeah, I think it's hard to win in this league. It's even harder on back-to-backs. And when we were kind of skidding there, you got to find a way to stop the bleeding. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was a good win. It was a good team effort. You needed the team to win there. It's move on to the next game and get prepared, and that's why we have I think they're first in the division. I think they're first in the league. So it's going to be a hell of a game, and we're going to have to bring a great effort. It's got to be the exact same if we expect to come out with 2 points. And I think from day one, and I've preached this, is we just want to be hard to play against. And if you do that, you give your chance to get points, and that's what we need to do. And that comes out with block shots and hits and getting above people and just the detail stuff. And in my mind, starting on time, because when we spot teams' goals in the first shift or first 5 minutes, that makes it very difficult. So if we can kind of manage those areas, and we've been talking about this all year, if we can dial that in, I think it'll give us the best chance to come out with some points.
How important was it for Blackie to get put in that performance of the night? Not only for a team, but him personally.
Yeah, I think personally it's a big thing. Confidence is a thing that you can't. I don't know what the scale is with confidence, because when you have it, the sky's the limit, right? And so I think with goalies, if you can build that confidence, they can slide into the picture of being the best goalie on a nightly basis. So for him, I think confidence is a massive thing. As a team, I thought he came in and played great in Carolina, and that's tough to do after been sitting for so long and not even seeing games in a while, and I thought he did a great job, and then he battled. And that's my biggest thing for Blackie, is that I've been impressed with his battle. Like, he's been coming out, stopping rims and helping us break out that way, and he's working on his puck play, and he just battles side to side. When he does that, I think he's the most effective goalie, and I saw that. So, we got to test a lot of that win to him, and you got to credit him there.
Obviously, the team brings up Nikita Okhotiuk. We know what happened to Ryan Graves. How serious is the injury to Gravy, and what are you expecting from him?
He'll be further evaluated. He's going to be out tonight. He'll see doctors tonight. Lower body injury, so short term he's out.
You've got two young defensemen now. It's before the break, obviously, so you can run the veteran guys tonight. How do you employ the two young kids in a game against the best team in the league?
Well, it's going to be a great test for him. Obviously, everybody wants their opportunity, and when somebody goes down, it's the next man in, and we need Kevin to play and Okie to play well for us. They've had experience in preseason games. They've both had NHL experience. They know what it's like. They have to keep their game simple. They have to be predictable and just play well defensively.
It looked like the team was more like the club that you employed at the beginning of the year on Wednesday against Florida. More connected, a little faster. Is that your observation as well?
I would actually say I like the Carolina game a lot more. I mean, from a standpoint of our play away from the puck, the number of opportunities we gave up was way up in the Florida game. What I liked in both games was the fact we got inside. We had a goal taken away, a Miles Wood high tip. We scored the winning goal on a tip play. We had lots of inside opportunities. So I thought the back-to-back, we looked a little sluggish. Tough turnover for us, but we found a way to win a game. So you have to do that in schedule the way it's set up. Sometimes it's in your favor, sometimes it's not. You look at Boston played last night. We're playing 3-on-4 and came back again on a late night. So we know how good they are. We know they're 4 lines deep. We know that any one of those lines can be dangerous offensively, and we've got to take care of the puck, and we've got to make sure we don't fuel their offense.
One of the things that Okie said that coaches, maybe yourself, talked to him about is play right off of a face-off, maybe a little bit different than he's used to in Utica. Is there something specific there that you need to see from him just to allow you guys to be successful?
Well, again, I think Boston is one of the better face-off teams. So when you look at some of the plays that they might try to throw at us, you really have to be sharp. When you have a group that's been together that long, Marchand and Bergeron that they can feed off. You got Pasternak and Krejci. Automatically they don't need to skate out there and call a play. They know what they're going to do. They kind of look at each other, and if you take a second off, they're the type of guys that can create that grade A opportunity off face-off situations.
What's the balance for a guy like him who's so used to playing with his physicality, but translating that in an NHL situation with the pace and being selective, I guess? Well,
we want him to play his game. The physicality, when it's there, you use it. That physicality is not something that you run around and try to find. When it's there, you use it. Again, I can just say, keep it simple, be physical when you can, be predictable, make the play that's there.
How important was it to see McKenzie have the game he did the other night? Not only for the team, Lindy, but for him personally.
I think probably more important for himself, get back in and get to come up with a game like that, really help us win a game, make a lot of key saves. A long time off again, a hard road back, but I like the way he looked.
Is there any update at all on Marino?
Marino he's a little bit longer. He's going to be week to week. He's an upper body injury that we'll look at in that type of time frame.
Were you doing anything tonight before the start of the game to try to basically take a little pressure off the try to loosen the team up?
I think the fact he's already played a couple. He played some late in the year last year. He's played preseason. He just needs to go out and play his game. We know what his game is. He has to read where his support's coming from. Part of his game is physicality. We want to see that.
Brendan Smith said something interesting last week, Lindy, during the losing skid. He mentioned that you just have to learn that as the season goes on, it gets amped up a little more. You have to amp your game up a little more. Amping the game up, obviously knowing that other teams are coming in, playoff pushes, that type of thing. But is it execution in amping up? Is it? I know you always.
I think what he's talking about is something that we talked about all along through the stretch, that we have to continue to get better. Teams figure out probably 20 games in who they are, what they need to get better at, and the history of the league is, once you get through that, you figured it out. You know what you got to get better at. You know what the good teams are doing. If teams are looking at us, they're looking at our type of play. They know how they're going to have to try to defend us. They're getting better, and they're ready for any situation. You don't really surprise anybody anymore. So all of a sudden, your play has to be elevated with the opponent's play, because we have two things we're working against. We got off to such a good start that teams were aware. We weren't hunting teams, they were hunting us. So to get better in the small areas, to get better in net front, to get inside, create the type of opportunities that maybe we didn't need to create early on. But those are all the ways that we needed to get better.
Erik Haula is a guy that's been around a bunch of different organizations, a bunch of different roles, checking, scoring, etc. How has he best been utilized with your group?
We've utilized him in almost every situation, penalty killing, power play. He's playing on a real good line. We're looking for a veteran guy that can play in every situation, and that's what he's given us. He's been snake bit when it comes to getting the puck in the back of the net. Probably had probably the most great chances that haven't gone in. There's been a little frustration on his part, but he's been in on those chances, and I think a lot of those went in last year, and I'm pretty sure they'll start going in.
Is Andre Palat getting closer to?
Andre Palat is getting closer, skating, full workouts now. He's close. I can just say he's close to joining the team for practice. Don't have that date in mind, but he is close.